Highly anticipated Indian Wells third round match between Coco Gauff and Alex Eala ended in disappointing, really heartbreaking fashion as Coco retired down 2-6 love 2 due to a left arm injury. Gauff won their previous match a couple weeks ago in the Dubai quarterfinals, only dropping 2 games. It was 6 love 6-2. This match, of course, was very different. Coco didn't hold serve one time in the match. She had 4 game points at 2-1, and she had a 40 love lead at 2-3, but couldn't get over the finish line due to double faults or just errant forehands. Gauff, who finished the match with 7 double faults, noticeably went for a lot more on her second serve in this match, hitting it with an average speed of 98 miles per hour at one point.
The match has come to an end. Coco Gauff stepped up to the net after the final point and shared a brief, quiet exchange with Alex Eala. No one inside the stadium could hear their words, but Gauff's reaction made it clear that something meaningful was said at that moment. It speaks volumes about both players beyond what the final score can ever show. Now that you know what Eala said to Gauff at the net and how Gauff responded afterward, does it change the way you view their rivalry moving forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's dive right into it.
That'll probably do it, yeah. Well, that stinks. 2 of the game's brightest stars. You hear Coco Gauff apologizing. There's no need for that.
My arm is going like this the whole time, so I'm sorry.
An apologetic Coco Gauff. That just speaks to her class. She is a one of one.
Coco Gauff sat down in her post-match press conference at Indian Wells, where she was asked the question everyone had been thinking about: what exactly Alex Eala said to her at the net after the retirement, because there was clearly a moment that stood out. Both players seemed to feel the weight of how the match ended. Gauff looked emotional, Eala appeared concerned, and they stayed there for a few seconds, speaking quietly before walking away in different directions. Gauff explained that Eala simply told her she hoped she felt better, something short, sincere, and human. No drama, no acting, just one competitor checking on another in a moment that had nothing to do with rankings or trophies. And that small exchange at the net, in many ways, reveals more about Alex Eala than any statistic from the match ever could, because it's easy to show respect after a loss, but it's something entirely different to show genuine kindness after a win, especially when you've been carrying the memory of a previous 6-0 defeat and still choose compassion over everything else. But to understand the full picture, you have to step back and see everything that led to this moment, because there's a lot going on beneath the surface. And it all deserves context. Just 2 weeks before Indian Wells, these same 2 players met at the Dubai Tennis Championships, where Coco Gauff defeated Alex Eala 6-0, 6-2. That kind of scoreline is not a close contest. It is a straight-up domination, the type of result that quickly spreads online, with talk about how big the gap still is between Eala and the top level of the game. And to be fair, those reactions weren't completely wrong in that moment. Gauff was clearly the stronger player that day, controlling the match from start to finish, dictating the pace, and not allowing Eala any real way back into it. So when the Indian Wells draw brought them together again, most people expected the same outcome, because that's usually how it goes when there's a clear difference in level. But this time, Eala showed up with a different mindset. She spoke afterward about learning from Dubai and adjusting her game, playing more aggressively, improving her focus, increasing her intensity and movement, and taking control of rallies earlier. And it showed right away. From the opening set, Gauff was dealing with a completely different version of her opponent. The numbers tell the story clearly. As Eala landed 68% of her first serves, 159% of those points, earned 6 breakpoint chances, and converted 5 of them against the world number 4 and a 2-time Grand Slam champion. And those are not lucky statistics. Those are the stats of a player who arrived with a clear plan, stuck to it, and immediately put her opponent under pressure from the opening game. Gauff, on the other hand, was dealing with a physical issue from early in the first set, even calling for the trainer during the match and receiving treatment on her left shoulder and arm. Her first serve percentage dropped sharply to 44%, and she produced 7 double faults in just the first set alone. By the time the second set began, and she dropped her serve in the second game, it no longer felt surprising that a retirement was coming, with only the timing in question rather than the outcome itself. But what Gauff shared in her press conference is what truly stands out, and it's the part that didn't receive the attention it deserved. She said she felt deeply sorry for having to retire, adding that no player ever wants to end a match that way. And she went further by explaining that she felt even worse because of how well Eala was performing. She made it clear she didn't want her exit to take anything away from Eala's performance or achievement. And that message carries real weight. The player who had just stepped away from competition due to injury, while in visible discomfort, still made her first priority, giving full credit to her opponent. She could have easily focused only on her injury and disappointment, but instead she chose to highlight Eala's level and ensure her performance was properly recognized. She also expressed a level of respect for Eala as a competitor that showed exactly how much she valued the match despite how it ended. She said she would have rather stayed on court and lost 6-love than retire from the match, and that alone shows the level of pride she carries as a competitor. Think about what that really means. The world number 4 and a Grand Slam champion would have preferred a straight-set demolition at Indian Wells over walking away and not finishing the contest. That is pure competitive spirit. And the fact that she tied it to not wanting to take anything away from Eala's performance makes it even more meaningful. Then, almost casually, she added that she believes Eala is going to have a great tournament ahead, and coming from Coco Gauff, that is far from a meaningless comment. It is a genuine read from someone who shared the court, felt the pace, and saw exactly what her opponent can do when everything is working. When a player of that level gives that kind of prediction, people in tennis pay attention. And when you step back, the bigger picture becomes even more interesting because this rivalry is quickly turning into one of the key storylines on the women's tour. The head-to-head now stands at 1-1, with 2 matches producing completely different narratives. In Dubai, Gauff controlled everything from start to finish, while in Indian Wells before the retirement, Eala was so dominant that it looked like the match was heading toward an even more one-sided result, just flipped in the opposite direction. That kind of momentum shift shows that neither player has fully solved the other yet, which makes every future meeting between them completely unpredictable. And that is exactly the type of rivalry women's tennis needs right now. Not just the familiar battles among the top 5 players who know each other's games inside out. That storyline is what makes this matchup so exciting. And both players have the skill and personality to keep it going long term. Gauff, for her part, has consistently spoken about Eala with real respect. After her win in Dubai, she even thanked Eala for helping bring new attention to the sport. She highlighted how Filipino fans turned the stadium into something close to a home atmosphere and praised it as something great for tennis overall. She also said she understands why fans support Eala, and even mentioned that she herself supports her when they are not competing against each other. That kind of public encouragement from an established star toward a rising opponent is not always seen in professional sports. Many athletes become guarded when new challengers emerge, but Gauff has done the opposite. She has used her platform to elevate Eala's presence in the sport and given Gauff's global reach and influence. That support plays a major role in shaping how new fans see Eala as her popularity continues to grow. From Eala's side, the respect was just as clear and just as sincere. In her post-match press conference after Indian Wells, she described Gauff as a top-level player who always makes things difficult on court. And she stressed that in tennis you can't control how well your opponent performs, only how you respond yourself. She didn't celebrate the retirement or try to turn it into a bigger moment than it needed to be. Instead, she acknowledged the situation with maturity, showed genuine concern for Gauff's physical condition, and kept the focus on her own level as the main takeaway. And that level was undeniable, injury or not. You don't win 6-2 and break a top 5 player's serve 5 times by chance. and you don't hold a 68% first serve rate against an elite opponent without real execution behind it. The performance was built on control, consistency, and clarity under pressure, and even Gauff made sure to publicly confirm that Eala deserved full credit, which shuts down any attempt to downplay what happened on that court. Now attention turns to the round of 16 against Linda Noskova, a powerful and aggressive hitter with enough experience at this level to be dangerous if given space. She won't make it easy, but Eala enters that match carrying something far more valuable than hype or expectation: momentum built on real belief. It's the kind of confidence that comes from stepping onto one of the biggest stages in tennis and outplaying a Grand Slam champion so convincingly that even the opponent publicly acknowledges it afterward. That is exactly where Eala stands right now. 20-year-old, ranked 31st in the world and breaking into the round of 16 at Indian Wells for the first time in her career, with Coco Gauff telling the world she believes the rest of the tournament is about to get a lot more interesting. What happened at the net was simple, almost quiet, just a brief exchange wishing each other well. Nothing performative and nothing made for attention, only a genuine get well soon in a moment. Neither player wanted to end like that. There was no drama, no celebration, just two competitors showing respect in a situation where both understood the circumstances and responded like professionals and human beings. But that small moment at the net actually says everything about the bigger picture, because it reveals who Eala is when nobody is trying to build a story around her, and it shows who Gauff is when the match is over and there is nothing left to prove. It also reinforces why this matchup is starting to matter beyond just the scoreline, because the tennis is high level, but the character behind it is what makes it compelling. Coco Gauff didn't just reflect on what was said at the net. She also made it clear how she views this rivalry and how far she believes it can go. And in many ways, it is hard to disagree with that perspective when you look at how both players are responding on and off the court.